Hi, so in this video I want to talk about search combo boxes and how to make them. And towards the end I'll put in a few tips on how to make this form a little bit more attractive. And then maybe throughout the the video as well. So here's my video, goodness gracious, here's my form. And I'm going to make a search combo box out of this particular field right here, which when we go and we look at the design view of it, it's actually the student ID, and the student ID is the primary key for this data set. And often with search combo boxes, people use the primary key as the thing that they search for. So I'm usually what I would do, or often what I would do, is put the search combo box up here. Okay. So let's go ahead and first look at our record source. Okay. So I'm going to click on all and I'm going to move here to form. And the reason why I'm doing that is because my record source needs to be the actual table to build the search box. Once you've built the search box, then you're fine and you don't need to worry about having a table here anymore. You can change your record source back to whatever you want it to be. But while you're using the wizard to build a search box, you need this to be a table. That's what I found out about the wizard. So we've determined that this record source is a table in and of itself, as it is, so I don't need to worry about that. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click on design, and I'll first check to see if the use control wizards is on, which it is because this is pink. And now I'll click on this combo box dude here, and I'll come here and I'll just make a nice little rectangle. And that's when the wizard starts. And so it says, find a record on my form based on the value I selected in my combo box. That's the search option, and that's what you want. If this doesn't come up, then it's highly likely that your record source is not a table. All right, so then I'm going to click on next. And for this combo box, it will be nice to see the name and the what the student ID is. So I'm going to put the name with it. And what you put in your list depends on the situation, your particular situation. And the best thing that you can do is just think about, well, what would be the best for the user? What would make the most sense to the user so that it would be easy, make the form and the search box easy to use. And I think just using student IDs isn't very user-friendly because people don't know student IDs very well, but they do know first name and last name pretty well. So we'll click on next. And you can choose to hide the student ID, and it can make it look like you just put in a first name or a last name. I'm going to make it so that it shows the student ID when I pick it. So if I chose to hide it, then I would either have the first name or last name actually showing, even though what's recorded would be the student ID. But in this case, I really want it to show the student ID. That's just my preference. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll click on Next. And here it says, what would you like to label your student ID? So I'm going to say, or what would you like your combo box to have a label of? And so I'm going to say student ID, colon, like that. That's what I want it to look like right here. So I'm going to say finish. And now it's changed the label to student ID. And you'll notice that it says unbound. What that means is that it's not connected to a field in the table, so that when I do my drop-down list, I'm not doing any data entry for that particular field. All I'm doing is just picking from a list so that I can search, and that's all it is. All right, so if I come here and I go home and view, and not quickly, I can click here and see, I can see the names now, and then I can pick the one I want. I'll pick Fleetwood Mac, and then it goes to Fleetwood Mac's record. Okay, so that's how you do a search box. And I'll just demonstrate it a few more. John Denver, Elton John, you know. So that's a search box. I want to quickly, though, say that a form header is really useful, and I recommend it for things like you could put the first name and the last name in the form header, and I'm going to change the size of that. And you can watch what happens when you do that. Okay, so watch, I'll move this down, and this part moves, but the top part doesn't. And so you can always know who you're referring to no matter where you are in the form. And that's what is so nice about it. And then if you have your search box in the form header, then if you want to go to somebody else's record, you can just come here and it'll go to somebody else's record. It's really nice. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. And just to make sure that you remember that when you're done doing your search box, you can go into Design View, you can change your record source to an SQL statement or whatever you need it to be, depending on the situation. Okay, done.